Welcome. Thank you for the patience there. Ben France here again with Benjamin France Music on Lunchtime Lessons, Guitar 101, Intro to Playing Guitar. This is lesson number 6. I think I said lesson number 6 on Friday. That was wrong. That was actually number 5. This is lesson number 6. Just kind of a review for everyone who's new. The whole purpose, what we're doing with these lessons, or what I'm doing with these lessons, is basically doing introductory guitar lessons. For people who are just wanting to learn how to play guitar, just starting out, this is designed for you. So we are covering the basics, basic chords, basics of picking, basics of strumming, some basic music theory, and we're also going to get into some additional basic stuff as well as scales and so on and so forth going forward. So trying to move in the camera there so the whole guitar can be seen. So you can find these, the rebroadcast of these are on my Facebook artist page, which is facebook.com/BenFranceMusic. Also available on my YouTube channel, which if you search YouTube for Benjamin France Music, you'll see them on the YouTube as well. Actually, this rebroadcast will be from the OSC video. So Facebook, I apologize, you only see me from about middle of my large forehead down because how Facebook's cutting off the camera, but on YouTube you'll see it'll look a little bit different. Additionally, you can follow me and find me on Instagram, just under Benjamin France Music. Those of you watching on Instagram today, obviously you're aware of that. And I am active-ish on Twitter under Ben France Music, and I did actually sign up for Twitch recently under Benjamin France Music. Haven't actually broadcast anything on there yet, but the plan is to start incorporating that as well. So, we'll just do kind of a real quick review of what we learned on our last lesson, and then we'll jump into new material for today. Keep in mind, these lessons are designed to be about 15 to 20, maybe 25 minutes tops in length. They had went quite a bit longer than that, up to about 45 minutes previously. And that becomes a lot of information to grasp at once when you're just starting out. Additionally, and more to the point, I'm doing these lessons from home because, like a lot of people, I am locked down at home during the COVID-19 crisis and working from home. So I'm actually on my lunchtime from the day job that I'm telecommuting from, i.e. this being the lunchtime lessons. Sweetwater, notice the shirt that I'm wearing. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not going to try to block this off. However, I am a big fan of Sweetwater. If you do not have a local music store in your area that can support your music equipment and or needs and habits, definitely look into Sweetwater. They are an awesome organization. They have anything you could ever possibly imagine for music, and at very, very fair prices, very, very fast shipping. And their customer service for as large of an organization as they are, being online, and I'm assuming they probably started as mail order, is ridiculous. You get follow-up emails as soon as you place an order thanking you for your email. You also get follow-up emails after you receive the order, making sure that everything was received okay and making sure that you don't have any questions about your new equipment that you purchased from them. So, like I said, I'm not sponsored by Sweetwater whatsoever. I'm just a fan. I do have a local music store, a couple of them that I frequent, that I try to give as much of my money as I can to the local communities and support local businesses. But if it's something that they can't get, Sweetwater is my go-to. So, that being said, let's do a quick review of what we learned last time. Last time we learned we learned the G chord. So we learned our final chord in the caged system, C-A-G-E-D. The G chord, or G major, we call it a G chord because the assumption is it is a major chord unless you call it something else like a G minor or G diminished or G augmented. So the G chord sounds like this. It is made up of the notes G, B, and D. Your root note is your G. We play that on the 3rd fret, first dot of your 6th string, which is the thickest string, the one closest to your head if you're sitting like I am. That's this note. We play that with our 2nd finger. We play the B. The B is the 3rd of the G chord. That meaning it's the 3rd note, and you learn those. We've learned that those are by counting up. So if we're playing a G chord, G would be 1, or our 1st. The next note, A, would be 2nd. And the 3rd note, B, would be our 3rd. Just a real quick review of basic music theory. The notes that you have in Western music are going to be A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and then they repeat. So if we're playing a G chord, G is our root. Whatever the name of the chord is, that's our root note or our first. So G, A, B. That's our third. We play that with our first finger on fret number 2 of the 5th string. So we've got G, our root, and B, our third. The next note we play is a D. That is our 4th string played with no fingers on it. Sounds like this. So G, B, D. We also will play our 3rd string with no fingers on it, which is a G string. Sounds like this. So that's the same note as this, only 1 octave or 12 steps, 12 frets higher on the guitar. We play our 2nd string, which is a B string open with no fingers on it. It sounds like this. And that is an octave above this note. So it's just another B 12 steps higher. And then finally we take our pinky, our little finger, this guy, and we put him on fret 3 of the thinnest string, string number 1. That's another G. So that's actually 2 octaves. In a G major chord played in this first position as an open chord, we have 3 G notes, we have 2 B notes. Wait, let me think if I'm thinking right. We have 3 G notes, we have 2 B notes, and we have a D note. So G, B, D, G, B, G. There's our G major chord. If you've been following me on the other videos and watching the videos I've done in the past, you'll know you've heard me say several times, please practice what we cover in between the videos. Hey Victor, welcome to the live cast, and Alex, thanks for showing up earlier also. This is just a Guitar 101, it's part of my Lunchtime Lessons series, Victor, and this is episode number 6. So we're just reviewing what we covered in episode number 5, which we just wrapped up that review, and we're getting ready to jump into the new content for episode number 6. Today we're going to learn another new chord. This is going to be our chord of the day. I'm going to start using that term. And this is going to be our B major chord, or our B chord. So, this is not part of Caged, C-A-G-E-D, but it's an additional chord that we're going to learn. So we have another chord in our repertoire. So we actually will have 6 chords that we know how to play after today's lesson. I'm going to scoot in a little bit so you can see me better here on the cameras. And the microphone you can't see, I'm going to rotate a little bit, so hopefully it'll pick up my voice well. So, our B chord. B chord is made up of the notes B, G flat, and E flat. So, how do we play that chord? We will take our, starting from the highest string, the thinnest string, we will put our first finger on fret number 2. That gives us an F sharp. We will put our 4th finger on fret number 4. That gives us a E flat. We will put our 3rd finger on fret number 4 of the 3rd string. I apologize, that last one I should have said pinky finger on fret number 4 of the 2nd string. Put our 3rd finger on fret number 4 of the 3rd string. That is a B. And we will put our middle finger on fret number 4 of the 3rd string. Okay, so that is a B major or a B chord. The notes of that from high to low on the form we're playing it in right now are an F sharp on the 1st string, 1st finger, 2nd fret, this guy. A E flat, which is pinky finger, 4th fret of string number 2. Our 3rd finger on fret 4 of the 3rd string, that is a B, that's our root note. And our middle finger on fret number 4 of the 4th string, that is another F sharp. Notice that's the same note, only an octave apart, 12 steps apart. So, F sharp, B, E flat, F sharp. Now this goes a little bit against one of the rules that we talked about on the front end when I first started introducing chords, where I said typically that we would want to have our root note of whatever chord we're playing be the lowest pitch note. For instance, our G chord, we learned G is the lowest note pitch-wise. On our A chord, A was the lowest note. our E is the lowest note. The D was the lowest note. Same thing with C. The reason we're doing that for this purpose is because the B chord, I'm trying to make it where it's a little bit easier to play initially and still get the flavor of the chord and you can still kind of learn what it sounds like. We could technically play a B chord like this in what's called a bar chord, which means it would sound like this. And that would also give us our lowest note, our root note B in the bass. Second fret of string number 5. However, when you're first starting to learn how to play, barring your finger across all of those strings, meaning you're taking your finger, the flat part of it, this part, you're starting on fret number 2 on your 5th string, second from the top, second closest to your head, and you're pressing down to hold all 5 of those strings down. Not very easy to do until you start building up some finger strength, and it's gonna hurt. So that would technically be a way we could play our B chord. The traditional way of position 1 is gonna be like this. And practice that if you want to. However, it's a little bit of a stretch, and your first finger may be not strong enough to bar all 5 strings yet, to press down on all 5 of those. So if it's not, just play that F sharp, fret number 2 on the high string, on your high E. String number 1. Don't play string number 5 at all, just play the top 4 strings, 4, 3, 2, 1. That still gives you a B major chord, or a B chord. Make sense? Okay. Now, the other thing we have, we'll talk about briefly, we've talked about previously, if you remember, if you watched the previous episodes of this, is that we can convert a major chord into a minor chord. By doing that, we lower the third of the chord, or the third note in the chord. We lower that by 1 fret, or what's called 1/2 step. So, remember how we find the third. Our first is the note that the chord is named after. So if this is a B, the B is number 1. That's our first. So we just start going up through our notes. After B, alphabetically becomes C. So C would be our number 2. That would be our second. Next after C comes D. So D, that's awesome, man. I appreciate that, Victor. You should have them tune in. I do these lessons every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 1:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's GMT minus 5 hours. So that would be awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, man. Very cool. I'm going to do these going forward for as long as I can until I'm back in an office where I can't do these on my lunch hour. So on that chord, once again, talking about what the third is. Yeah, very much. Talking about what the third is. The third, if we're in B, then C, then D. So D is our third. So let's look at our chord here. And what note do we have that is a D? You're welcome, man. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. So what do we have that's a D? We said we had an F sharp. Okay, so that's not a D, obviously. We have our B, which is our root. And then we have, I said, was an E flat. Okay, now an E flat is also a D sharp. Let me explain. D and E are 1 step apart. If you remember on our previous lessons, 1 step is 2 frets. So if this is an E, fret number 5 on string number 2, what we said we were just playing with our pinky was an E flat, fret number 4, and if a D is 1 step lower than an E, then fret 5 is an E, so 1 whole step, which is 2 frets, fret number 3 is a D on that second string. Okay? So when we say this chord, the third that it has in it is a E flat. That is the same thing as a D sharp. That's the same note. D, we go sharp, 1 fret up. D sharp. E, we go flat, 1 fret down. Same note. So, if we're talking about converting our major chord to a minor, once again, we take our third, which is this note, E flat or D sharp. I should have called it a D sharp for the purposes of explaining at the front. And we would lower that by 1/2 step, or by 1 fret. So, it takes a little rearranging of fingers because you can't probably take your pinky and put it before or underneath these 2 strings to get it over here on fret number 3. That's fret number 3. That's not going to work real well. So it's a little bit of rearrangement. So what we do for this one if this is our B major or our B chord, we will rearrange slightly by leaving finger 1 on fret number 2. We will take finger number 2, because it's going to work better. Trust me, mechanically it will work better with how your hand is made, how your hand is laid out, whatever. How your hand is, it will work better. We'll take our middle finger, we'll put that on fret number 3. Okay, that's our D. Remember, for our minor chord, we're taking our 3rd, this guy in B, and we're lowering 1/2 a step or 1 fret. So we'll put him there on fret number 3 of the 2nd string. We then take our pinky, put it on fret number 4 of string number 3, which is our B note, our root note. And then we take our middle finger, or pardon me, our ring finger, the one with a ring on it, we put that on fret number 4 of string number 4. That is our F sharp, that is our 5th. So, our B minor in this position, since we're not trying to bar across all 5 strings right now to not really make our fingers scream and hurt us since we're just learning to play, our B minor is middle finger, fret 4, string 4, I'm so sorry, I obviously am a little tired today. Ring finger, string 4, fret 4, pinky finger, string 4, fret 3, string 3, fret 4. Our middle finger, string 2, fret 3, and our index finger, string 1, fret 2. So, B major or B is like this. We're taking this note, our 3rd, and we're lowering it 1 step by changing the fingering like I just showed you. We're going from here to here. So that's a B minor. B major. Sounds kind of happy, a little more uplifting like major chords tend to. So I've got a cat that's going very crazy right now. Hope he's entertaining you all in the background. I know he's entertaining / I'm not going to say he's aggravating me. He's entertaining me. He's a fun little guy. So, our major chord sounds kind of happy, upbeat, hopeful. Minor chord sounds kind of sad and down. And that's a function of literally changing that one note, our D sharp or E flat, remember it's the same note, down to a D. Makes all the difference in the world. Even if we play that just as 3 strings, the top 3 strings, versus. So, practice that chord a few times. Play your B major. Here, 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 here. Fret 4, 4, 4, 2. 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string. Middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, 1st finger. And then practice changing that to a minor, which is here, 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 here. 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string. Ring finger, pinky finger, middle finger, 1st finger. Okay, so we have now learned 6 chords. We've learned our caged system chords, C, A, G, D, C, A, G, E, and D. We've learned how to convert all of those from a major to a minor, which means basically taking our 3rd in the chord, the 3rd note up. Remember counting up from the starting, so A would be A, B, C. C would be the 3rd. For C, C, D, E. E would be the 3rd. For G, G, A, B, so B would be the 3rd. For E, E, F, G, G would be the 3rd. And for D, D, E, F, F would be the 3rd. And we take our 3rd note in the chord, 3rd tone, and we lower it 1/2 of a step, which is the equivalent of 1 fret on the guitar. So, C. And we talked about this one not being a real common, but that's C or C major. C minor. G. G minor. Sounds a little weird because that B in there should be like this. Okay? E, E minor, A minor, D, D minor, and today we just learned B, B minor. Okay, so we've got 6 chords in our repertoire. Practice on those chords. Also, things that we talked about previously, practice your right hand picking exercises we talked about. Down strokes, up strokes, pulling up towards you, down away from your head, up towards you. Strumming, strumming down, strumming up, strumming down, strumming up. And practice these with chords so it sounds musical, because you get pretty bored doing this. So practice your chords and changing from the chords, no matter how slowly you have to do it. Going from G, maybe to A for the next one, and then to E, then to D, then our new one we learned, let's do B, and then C, and then back to G. Alright, also practice those left hand exercises we talked about previously, the 1, 2, 3, 4, each finger on the matching fret, picking them one at a time, and going across your strings. Okay, and remember, like I said previously, the importance of using a metronome for this to get your timing where you start getting even on that. So set a metronome really slow. My tapping foot represents a metronome that you can get on an app on your phone or on the computer. Okay, so that's it for today, folks. This is about 23 minutes in. So we did learn today our new chord of the day, our B major chord. We also learned how to convert that to a B minor chord. We also reviewed a little bit of information on what we have previously learned as far as activities to work on to get our left hand working better, our fingers have more dexterity and more strength. We also talked a little bit about our picking exercises, including downstrokes, upstrokes, and I just recalled that I didn't cover alternate picking, going back and forth on one string. Down, up, or across strings. Down, up on the next, down, up on the next, and so on. So practice all of those things. Make sure to tune in here next time. Like I said, these lessons are always going to be on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 1:15 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is GMT time minus 5 hours. So depending on where you are in the world, you can just get on Google. You can look up and see what time is it GMT. And if it's 6:15 p.m. GMT on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, that's when I'm streaming these lessons. They stream live on my Facebook artist page and also on Instagram as well. And then I rebroadcast them or re-upload them through my YouTube channel and save them on my Facebook page as well. As always, you can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/BenFranceMusic. If you want to give me a follow there, that would be awesome because I upload some additional content other than just these lessons on my Facebook page. Some news and that sort of thing, releases on when new singles are released that I put out on Bandcamp and so on. My YouTube, just search for Benjamin France Music on YouTube. If you want to follow me and give me a thumbs up on these videos and a like on there, that would be awesome. I'm trying to get my YouTube channel built up where I have more people following around there so I can offer more content and more lessons, more music-related things. Instagram, obviously, if you're watching me on here, is Benjamin France Music on Instagram. Also, if you're interested in hearing any of my original music, you can just search for me on any of the streaming platforms, Spotify, Amazon Music, or anything like that, under Benjamin France. That's spelled F-R-A-N-C-E, just like Paris, France. Or you can also go to bandcamp.com/Benjamin France Music. Actually, I think it's benjaminfrancemusic.bandcamp.com. And you can find my music on there, or you can actually purchase it as well. This is not my full-time gig right now. Obviously, I have a day job as well. However, I'm working to transition into everything in my life. Hopefully, being music related is what I'm aiming towards. So, the more that I can help you, the more you find this useful, and the more you can follow me, the more content I'll be able to put out. So, as always, drop me a comment. Feel free to shoot me an email, benjaminfrancemusic@gmail.com. Let me know if these lessons are helpful. Let me know if there's additional info that you could learn, or if I need to slow down the pace, anything like that. And I hope everyone is having a great day and a great start to your week. And I will see you all back here again on Wednesday, the 15th at 1:15 p.m., 6:15 p.m. GMT. Take care, everyone. Bye.